All right, let's just jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to set the stage for an intensive, super practical briefing on how you can leverage AI to completely future-proof your career. We are looking at the Rise with AI Playbook, which is basically a complete breakdown of the workflows that separate the top 1% of professionals from, well, everyone else. And look, this isn't about vague theories. It's about structured, strategic moves you can make right now. So get comfortable because we're going to cover a lot of ground pretty quickly today.
Now, I kind of want to start strong here, and frankly, a little bluntly. 1 in 5. That is the prediction for the number of jobs that could be replaced in the next 2 to 3 years. It's an alarming number, right? And honestly, it's tempting to just look away from data like that. But ignoring this shift is literally the most expensive mistake you can make right now in your professional life. We are living through a massive transition, and we all need to be prepared.
But hey, let's ease the panic for a second. The absolute crucial point to understand is that AI isn't coming to replace every job outright. It's coming to replace the people in those jobs who refuse to use it. It's really not man versus machine. It's human adapting versus human resisting. If you learn to orchestrate these tools, you aren't the one being replaced, you're the one doing the replacing. You become the manager of the technology.
So here is our playbook for today. We'll cover the 1% mindset, the context engineering framework, your elite research team, instant analytics, and finally, Cowork, the autonomous desktop.
All right, Section 1, the 1% mindset, rethinking a relationship with AI. To use today's tools effectively, our entire mental model has to shift.
There's a very clear line between the old way and the new way. The old paradigm, that was treating AI like a basic writing tool, or maybe a superpowered search engine. You asked a question, you got a kind of generic answer. But the new paradigm, you've got to start treating AI as a tireless intern army. Think about it. You are now a manager. You are delegating parallel research, deep data analysis, and all the heavy lifting. Your job is no longer to do the raw execution. Your job is to direct it.
Moving on to Section 2, the context engineering framework. This right here is the blueprint for perfect outputs. And honestly, it's the absolute core formula for success in the AI era.
So the real secret sauce is stacking these 4 specific layers, which we call source engineering. This is the absolute foundation of the Rise with AI methodology. Step 1 is context. Tell the AI exactly who it's playing. Step 2 is task. One crystal clear sentence stating what you want. Step 3 is instruction, the strict format and constraints. And step 4, this is huge, is data. Before you even think about clicking any buttons, you must gather your data, PDFs, transcripts, URLs. By giving the AI this complete picture up front, you entirely prevent hallucinations. If you follow these 4 steps, your output quality is going to jump exponentially overnight.
Let's actually deconstruct this with a real-world example so you can see it in action. Notice how we don't just say write an email. For context, we define the role, an expert copywriter for a very specific demographic. For task, it's a single goal, write an invite email. Look at the instruction, under 150 words, no jargon, second-person voice. We are actively giving it negative constraints so we don't get that generic, fluffy AI output. And finally, data, the actual workshop details. Giving the AI this complete map means it knows exactly what sandbox to play in. All right, Section 3, your elite research team. We're talking about getting McKinsey-grade insights on demand. Think about those high-impact use cases where you usually spend days just digging for information. Market entry decisions, competitive analysis, massive industry reports for a huge client pitch, or due diligence. By using your AI as a research intern, you can replace a week's worth of manual, tedious digging in, 15 minutes? It literally reads the internet for you, cross-references sources, and delivers a highly structured report based entirely on the exact context you just engineered.
And this brilliantly illustrates an advanced tactic from the source material. We call this the power move. You see, traditional research tells you what has been written, but sometimes you need to know what people are feeling right now. By using a tool like Grok to pull live, real-time public sentiment and raw quotes from social media, and then feeding that raw signal into an analytical model like Claude, you bridge the gap. You go from raw, messy human emotion straight to structured, actionable business strategy. Let's hit Section 4, instant analytics and presentations. This is all about turning messy data into investor-grade decks. I want to ask you a question. Just think about your workflow right now. What if you could upload a completely messy spreadsheet, the kind with merged cells, weird formatting, and broken headers,
and instantly turn the top insights into a polished presentation. It sounds like magic, but honestly, it's just a standard workflow today. With advanced AI, you literally skip the entire data cleaning phase. You don't need pivot tables or super complex Excel formulas anymore. You simply upload your raw CSV or Excel file and ask the AI to act as a data analyst. You can tell it to extract the top 3 insights a CEO would need to see, flag any broken metrics, and even generate interactive dashboards right there on your screen. The AI actually understands the context of the messy data and fixes it for you. Now, let's take this to the absolute top 1% level with the Rise with AI Notebook LM workflow. Once you have your foundational data, you can run a 3-minute multimedia sprint. Need a podcast? Just select Audio Overview, and it creates a deep dive conversation between 2 AI hosts that sounds like a professional studio production. Need a quick briefing? Select Video Overview. Need a deck? Trigger the slide deck skill. And to get that super impressive polish, engineer the chat. Assign it a Fortune 500 creative director persona, instruct it to highlight controversial insights, and apply negative constraints like no fluff, premium, minimalist tone. Boom, you go from raw data to a multimedia powerhouse in under 5 minutes. Which brings us to Section 5, Cowork, the autonomous desktop. We are reaching the final frontier of AI automation here. Let this quote sink in for a second. This is the tool that literally shook the entire IT industry. Because suddenly, a lot of the work that used to require a junior developer or a virtual assistant doesn't anymore. Guys, we're no longer talking about a chatbot that just gives you advice. We're talking about a tool that actually executes. Let's compare the two to see how this builds on everything we've discussed today. Chat-based AI is great. Sure, it advises, explains, and writes. But you still have to copy, paste, open the files, and save things. You are the manual bridge. Agentic Cowork AI runs locally on your machine. It takes access to your folders and apps, and it executes. It bridges that last-mile gap of actual work right on your desktop. Think about the practical, everyday tasks this handles. You can give it access to a terrifyingly messy downloads folder and tell it to reorganize everything into clear categories. It will literally rename confusing file names to human-readable formats, find duplicates, and clean up the entire directory. It can draft an email, actually open your mail app, and hit send. 10 minutes of work done, and you made absolutely 0 human clicks after kicking it off. It's wild. Which leaves us with this final, critical question. Will you be the one managing the intern army or the one replaced by it? The tools are here. The Rise with AI playbook is in your hands. So my challenge to you is to take this framework, gather your data, and generate a tailored report artifact today. Focus on those 4 layers of context engineering they talked about. Show your executive team what high-impact strategic insights look like when they are engineered perfectly. The 1% are making their moves right now. Make sure you are right there with them. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.